Test, test, test. 1, 2, 3. Test. Okie dokie. Well, we should be live. There we go. Okay. So, this is going to be an interesting startup. Okay, we are now live. I am so sorry that beginning was a little rough, I gotta admit. My first time live streaming, so we're gonna do this vlog style for now while I set up, because this is gonna be an interesting video. We're gonna review the phone, the iPhone XS Max. Putting this on the tripod so we can sit down and chit chat like the way we're supposed to here. So let's do it. Okay, I think that's a good enough angle for me. Let me get in here. Hopefully it should be a good angle. Alright, yep, it sure is. Okay, so what's going on, everybody? Let me grab. Oh man, I hate when I do these live streams and I'm not prepared. So used to filming and editing and stuff. Okay, so I have the iPhone XS Max here. Sorry, I'm looking at the. And I'm gonna open up the chat while we do this. The iPhone, you know, it's a great phone, the XS Max, but it has its problems. You know, but for the visually impaired, I say it's a killer phone. You know, there's no doubt about it. Like, it's been working fine for me. Now let me go ahead and get to the video here so that we can get started, because I want to see the comments and stuff, and you know, do it as we do. If I can. Why is this not okay? Whatever. I'm just gonna look at the stuff on my phone and go from there. Okay. The beginning is always rough. So here's the iPhone. It looks so good. Why is this stuck? Okay, well. I'm trying to figure out why this live stream is going the way it is. Hopefully everything is going to go good. Blind power. Okay, there we go. But my viewfinder is stuck. I wonder why. Okay, there we go. But my viewfinder is stuck. I wonder why. Oh. Yeah, okay, so we're getting feedback. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. If my thing is live now. Come on. The beginning of live streams and the ends are always the most awkward. So we're figuring it out, man. It is what it is. I'm trying to figure out why. We'll get to it. This is interesting. Okay, so it's working according to this thing. Can I see my hand being raised? Yep, we fixed it. Okay, so finally we got this going. So what's going on, everyone? Alright, so now that we have the iPhone video and we have everything, sorry about that, you know, once we get used to it, once we have a setup for this, it's going to be so much easier. So here's the iPhone 10 box. Let's start off from the box. This phone is massive. It's a 6.5-inch display. I call it the best phone for the visually impaired because it's massive. So the box has the picture of the default wallpaper. Your typical box. I mean, I already took it out of the box, but it's a nice phone. Now I'm going to leave this here in front just for aesthetics. Let's see, behind the microphone, right there. Yeah, let's leave it there for aesthetics. Okay, so this phone is just, it's amazing. Like the front, here, let me unlock it. When you have the phone in front of you and you're looking through the interface, like there's no strain in the eyes because of the OLED display. And I really enjoy that, you know. The OLED display is, you know, just like the iPhone 10, it's all black. Like I have here a desktop, if I can get it. There you go. It focuses so much better live than when recording. So you can see that the screen is black, and that means that the black pixels are turned off. I've explained how OLED works, and I've showed that screen curtain with voiceover works great with OLED, which I'll talk about at the end, like why the 10S is the best for the totally blind instead of the 10R. I'll explain that in a minute as well. So that's just a little recap. So basically, I've used this phone since launch. I didn't do an unboxing because I'm like, why do an unboxing when you really don't, you know, everybody knows what an iPhone box looks like, you know, mostly anyway. So, you know, why do an unboxing? Alright, so I'm going to start with the things I love about this phone. First off is the screen size. The screen size is amazing. It's, I mean, I do video consumption, and I'm like, holy moly, like when I'm watching a video, like here for example, the live stream, like it fills up the whole screen, and I can see, oh, this is good, it's showing me the chat, so you guys can see more than what I can see on my computer screen. Like on the phone, on the iPhone 10, I can see all the way behind me to the printer, and on my computer, like you can see it, but you're missing detail. And on the iPhone XS Max, you can see so much detail on the display when watching content. I don't know if it's because, you know, the aspect ratio, but it's great. You know, when you're visually impaired, you know, sometimes you have to squint to see certain things, or they're too small, and you have to like stick your phone to your face. I find myself comfortably using the phone like about here, and the other one, the 10, I had to have it like this, so like really close to my face, and now I can have it at sort of halfway arm's length, like go sideways like this, which isn't bad. It's actually not a bad distance. And when the camera is actually incredible is the next thing we'll talk about. So I've seen that the camera is good enough to use as a CCTV. I don't know how I'm going to show you this, but there's a way to do this. Man, it's kind of hard, like doing a lot of this stuff live. So I have the phone zoomed in, and from here I could see that the wording iPhone on the case, and I could see like every single detail in the case. Like this camera is just as good as the Google Pixel. The Google Pixel is perhaps, or was, my favorite camera phone, because I know, wait, that was a word back then, wasn't it? When phones didn't come with cameras, camera phones? Well, anyway, the Pixel basically is one tiny sensor the size of my fingernail, okay? It is microscopic, and the zoom is a lot more than on the iPhone still. But now on the iPhone XS Max, it has I guess like AI on the camera, so you can now see exactly what's going on with the camera. So with the iPhones, it used to be you took a picture and everything happened afterwards. So I'm gonna see if I could. Alright, I'm gonna set it up so that you guys can see this. Oh, man, this is so hard. Okay, how am I gonna do this? Alright, I'm gonna try to do this the best way I can. Okay, so you guys are seeing my phone right now. It's so hard to do this with the viewfinder. Let me open up the display here. Okay, so here's the phone, and I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to go in with the normal zoom, and you see right there, you can see the lettering iPhone. Now with the normal zoom, oh wait, where is it? It's so big I can't. Alright, so there you go. Now you can see the word iPhone right there, and we are pretty far away. And even with the normal zoom, it's really good, and it's super stable. I can shake it, and it basically fixes it, you know, while you're filming. So there's a lot of AI stuff going on here with the A12 Bionic. I'm trying to like not leave the display open on the camera so we can save battery. Woo! What did I just do? I just bumped the camera. Okay. So, well, I want to try to live stream. No! I want to try to live stream more. I screwed up the camera. Okay, we're good. Well, you guys get to see a little bit different angle now because you can see what's behind my window. All the camera gear. Okay. What else can we talk about? Well, the camera and just the fact that this phone is the best phone. I mean, the cameras are incredible. They're bigger than a pixel, yet the AI is amazing. And the next thing I want to talk about, let me put this back like it was for aesthetics. Come on, there we go. Alright, so the next thing I want to talk about is this microphone on the phone. Like, it has the microphone in the back like we've always seen it. The microphone's on the bottom, and you know, this normal, there's another little microphone thing on the top as well. And the reason why, you know, before it was microphones for sound cancellation, but now every microphone can, you know, have sound cancellation built in. So basically now you have stereo video recording, which I do want to do a video on that. I might do it this weekend because this weekend we're going camping, and I can't wait. It's Friday right now, and it's kind of weird to say that, like, we're live, and with post-production I have to be like, wait, it's Friday for me and then it's another day for you guys, but it's the same day. So yeah, so we're gonna go camping, and we're gonna show like how this phone works with the stereo video recording, and it only works well in landscape. So we're gonna do that, and hopefully it's just as good as binaural audio recording. You know, that's a thing. I haven't seen any videos dedicated to the iPhone stereo microphone, so I'm gonna do that. The only thing that I gotta say, besides like when it comes to audio, Apple, you're killing me. You did not ship the iPhone with a headphone adapter, with a dongle. So now I'm gonna spend $10 on a dongle because the headphones I use mostly are the Blue Sadie's, which are awesome. So they're the headphones I use for editing and for everything. Now I want to talk about another thing. Let me see. Let me look at the chat first, because I'm like rambling and I want to see what everybody. Yeah, we're good. So let's look at the stats. All right, we got 7 people watching. I appreciate it. Okay, so the next thing is, those of you who are totally blind, you are going to enjoy this feature. Okay, I'm like, as long as my camera's not giving me a battery warning. Okay, so you know, you can use VoiceOver on your phone with a screen curtain and do something that I couldn't do, that totally sighted couldn't do. I mean, I know how to use VoiceOver, but I couldn't depend on VoiceOver 24/7 because a lot of what I do has to do with graphic design. But if you use voiceover and you only use voiceover and you're totally blind, don't get the iPhone XR. It's trash. The iPhone XR, I mean, if you're on a budget, it's great. Yeah, no doubt. The reason why I say it's trash is because of it has LCD display, even though Apple, you know, color codes it with the Super Retina, whatever they called it. And it's just an LCD display on the XR. But now on the XS, the smaller version, I'd say it's the best because it's a 5.8 inch, which is like the same size as like a 4.7 inch phone. And you can use voiceover with the screen curtain on and basically get 70% longer battery life. Now, how does this work? Well, let's just say that, as I've said, the OLED display, when the black pixels are on, you know, when you have black pixels, it basically turns off the pixel per, I don't know. It turns off, the black pixels are basically individual pixels that have been cut from power, completely turned off. So with the screen curtain, you're basically cutting power from the display. And the one thing that drains your battery the most on a smartphone is your display. For example, you know, the iPhone XS Max, the battery is almost the same as the iPhone X, 20% larger, yet somehow it lasts less than on the iPhone X. And that is a perfect example of why screen size and battery size matter. And with the screen curtain on the iPhone, you know, 10 or XS or even the XS Max, you can basically save yourself a lot of battery. That's a great feature, especially if you're going somewhere remote where you can't charge your phone. You know, it's a great option. Or if you're just totally blind and you don't really need the display, just turn on screen curtain and your phone will last you a heck of a lot longer. So, you know, your phone can last you 3 to 4 days easily. I'm going to do an example of this screen curtain thing so you guys can see what I mean. I think I did a video on it on the iPhone X. Alright, so I'm going to turn on voiceover and let's do this. Oh wait, but we have
accessibility shortcuts. Voiceover off.
Hold on, because we have the live stream thing. Hold on, I forgot to have the audio going. Okay.
Messages. Don't edit mode. Calendar. Friday.
So, screen curtain. To do this, just triple tap with your fingers.
Photos. Speech off.
Wait.
Speech on.
Ah, come on.
Alert. Accessibility shortcuts. Selected. Messages. Don't. Speech off. Speech on. Screen curtain on.
There we go. So now I have the screen curtain.
Messages. Messages. Calendar. Photos. Camera.
And my display, as you can tell here, is completely off. My display is, there's no power going to my display. There's no, like, black pixels that are being lit. It's completely dark. Trying to see if I can get it as close as I can. There you go. And the voiceover. So it's basically complete. So like, that is my favorite thing. If you're a voiceover user, you should totally use the screen curtain.
Accessibility shortcuts. Voiceover off.
You know, I believe that the screen curtain can save you 70 to 75%. Now, let's talk about the XR. The XR is interesting. I will tell you that because it's basically an iPhone XS without OLED, like with LCD. And Apple changed the name. What did Apple call it? Let's look at some of the specs of the XR so that you can see what I mean here. I do have the screen sharing ability so that you can see. So iPhone XR. Okay. So here's what I want to talk about. I'm gonna switch. I want to show you here. So here's a perfect picture that says what I need. Okie dokie. Do we have audio in this form as well? Yeah, we do. Okay, so here it is. So I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna. Whoa, no, what was it? I lost it now. So here it is. So I'm gonna zoom. I'm gonna see if we could zoom in here, and show you what I mean. I'm not zooming in even for. I'm just zooming in just to show you. So that's black colors right there. All right. So this is the black color, and look at that. That lit pixels. Those lit pixels. There's black over here where I'm pointing the mouse. Like all the darker colors have this white ghosting effect, like this white fog that you have on LCD. I mean, is it a positive thing? Is it something that can bother you? I mean, it bothers me now. When I had the 7 Plus, which was an LCD display, and I had my 7 Edge, which was an OLED phone, if I recall, I'm like, okay, I see the difference. But I wasn't so, like, get OLED, it's great. I was like, OLED is good, yes, but LCD is okay too. No, now I'm like, OLED saves you battery when using VoiceOver, and on Android it saves you battery when using TalkBack when you use the screen shade, is what it's called in TalkBack, I think. I don't know how to enable it in TalkBack, so you'd have to look that up for yourself. I believe it's a similar gesture. And let's see. I just want to keep an eye on the views here. So this has actually been the most successful live stream I think we've had on Blind Power, and I appreciate that. So where were we? See, the difference when you live stream, when you're filming, is like you can cut the video and you're like, wait, where was I? When you live stream, you're like, oh, okay. So yeah, I remember now. So you know, basically when using a screen shade on Android, a screen curtain on iOS, you basically save battery. And I was like, I wasn't so black or white on like OLED. Now I'm like, yes, get OLED. LCD is just, we need to have OLED everywhere. Why did Apple put it on the 10R? And you know, I understand why Apple put the OLED on the LCD on the 10R, because the average consumer doesn't really care what displays on their phone, because as long as they could see it good, you know, it's fine. And with the visually impaired, they could put a 480p display, and we really won't. I mean, we can notice depending on your eye acuity, but you have to put it like closer to your eye, or in my case, I'd have to basically push it against my eye for me to see the, you know, the pixel density. So I find my point to be 720. When something is less than 720p, I start seeing the difference. 720p to 4K, 4K, it looks a lot better to me. It looks clearer, like nicer. But 1080 and like 1440 and stuff, it looks the same to me. I mean, I know what it is because it says it on the resolution, but it's not like night or day. Oh man. Okay. I have an iPhone 10, and I have a normal sized iPhone 8. Was it 8 or no? Was it 7 that I have? I'm actually selling them on eBay. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, so here they are. So I have 2 phones here that I'm selling right now. That's what I do. So this is the difference. The displays are like way different. You know, the same notch basically applies here. The notch is the same size. So if I open up Safari, just so we can have a notch comparison here, you know, the notch is exactly the same size. The screen brightness is the same. I feel like weight-wise, the iPhone XS Max compared to the 10 have a lot better weight distribution. The backs are the same. I got these both in white just because I like white phones. Now, the only thing that bothers me in here is like the camera hump is a little bit taller on the XS Max. And that's okay. I mean, every phone has it. Now, this is the 7, which is the same size, 4.7, compared to the 8, which is also 4.7. So if you have an 8, here's how it looks compared to a XS Max. Massive. Look at that. Holy moly. I'm going to unlock the XS Max so you can see the difference. I'm going to put it in Safari as well. Holy, it eats it. It legitimately eats the phone. That's incredible. Now, if I lock this one so that you can see the back, look at that. It eats it. It eats the phone. That's incredible. I mean, the entire huge bezeled phone fits inside of this display. Look at this. So that's where you're coming from. If you want to go from a 7 or an 8 or even a 6 to a 6S to a XS Max, well, there's your comparison. So, alright, I'm trying to figure out how we're gonna do this right now with the whole live thing. I'm refreshing it just in case. Okay, so we're good. Oh, this live stream is doing great. I appreciate you guys staying tuned. Now, I do want to talk about something that I don't know how it's going to be dealt with. The problem that I see with the iPhone XR. Let's talk about the XR, and let's I want to talk about why the XR is a good and a bad phone. First of all, it's great because if you're on a budget, you have an awesome phone. The phone is basically, Apple cut $300 off of the phone by switching from the OLED to an LCD. That's why the iPhone XR, is basically $700, because the most expensive part of the iPhones right now is the display. The display currently is done from LG, from rumors say. The main two OLED display providers are LG and Samsung. Apple currently does not manufacture their own phones. It is the way it is. Like the display for their phones, for the iPhone, is manufactured by LG and Samsung. And LG, oh man, I hate yawning when I'm live streaming. Okay, so the LG and Samsung display situation. Samsung makes the best OLEDs, yet something, I don't know, like Apple hasn't revealed who made their displays this year, but there is a company that said that the displays are the best. Let's Google this together here. iPhone display rating. I think it's called DisplayMate. iPhone OLED display technology. DisplayMate. There it is. So, according to them, is the most anticipated display in the history of the world. I mean, I think that's a little broad, don't you think? It's interesting for sure. I want to do something here. See what we could do. Whatever. It's the most anticipated display, and I see why. This is a good website. They do display stuff. So they say that the color gamut is great. They say that the color accuracy, the scale. Yeah, I gotta admit, the intensity scale. That's where. Wait, how do we? Okay, I'm trying to learn here. How do we do this so that I can show you my face? Okay, there we go. So the scalability, I have to agree. because the scalability means like how, like what I said earlier, how like everything seems wider because of the height of the phone and how there's more detail. I enjoy that because of the fact that the more detail there is on a display, the wider, the more, the more detail you can fit in a display. Now, you don't want it too big. Like, for example, I've seen on the iPads, for example, like sometimes it's so big you lose detail. But I feel like Apple hit the sweet spot with a 6.5-inch display. Now, that is fairly close to the normal 7-inch tablet range that we know that was popular back in 2012, the early iPad stages. 7-inch tablets were good when the iPad mini came out in 2012. So the iPad mini is like just a tad bigger, like 1.3 inches, 1.4 inches diagonal larger than the iPhone XS Max. So soon we're gonna be like with a huge tablet. Hello? Can you? Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I had my ear on the display. Unless they're smart enough and they're like, yeah, I can hear you. Because it's like bone conducting from the display or whatever. But like I feel like we're getting to that point where I'm laughing while I say this because it's just hilarious to see people talking on the phone with a tablet. Like, right now, there was a trend of like the guy with the huge iPad taking pictures, or the soccer mom with the big iPad taking pictures. That's gonna be popular again. Yeah, I know right now it's kind of like, oh, look at that guy taking pictures with the iPad, hugging his, everybody's gonna be holding an iPad mini-sized phone in the future. I feel like we're getting to that point. Or we're gonna get to the point where it's going to be the same size, but there's going to be no bezels. The notch is just the medium to go from bezels to no bezels, because you can't run before you walk. So they're walking toward bezel-less. Once they hit bezel-less, they start running. It's just the way it goes. So that's the first thing. Now I want to see the XR and I want to review it at least. I don't know how I'm going to get my hands on it, but I feel like that would be an interesting phone to talk about, because of the fact that we're reaching an era where there's so much phone variety. Oh, I turned off Zoom, I forgot. We're reaching a variety where like Apple has a lot of phones. There used to be a point where Apple only had one phone, and that was it. Apple had one phone, and you had to deal with that phone. That's no longer the case. Apple has 3 phones. They keep their, are they keeping the 8 Plus? Let me see if they're keeping the 8 Plus, because that's another thing you can look into as well. Okay, store.apple.com. Whoa, that's oh yeah, that's right, because I zoomed in. Hold on. Yeah, now I do want to see the iPhone 8 Plus. Are they still selling it? They're still selling the 7 Plus. Huh. Oh, wait. So let's pretend we're like buying one or whatever. How much is like the iPhone 7? Let's go for the 7. Buy without a carrier. Whatever, let's just go for black. Okay, so the 32 gigs is $449. That's not bad at all. I like that. So you can get an iPhone 7 for $449 at 32 gigs, or a 128 for $549. Granted, you can get for $549 an iPhone. I sold my iPhone 10 on eBay for $475. So, I mean, it's not a bad deal. But I think you rather go on eBay and look for an iPhone 10 that ranges from $450 to $675. I think you're better off doing that than going and getting a 7 or 7 Plus at Apple. Now, how much is the 7 Plus? Let's look at that. Oh, the prices are here. Okay, so the Apple, the carrier phone, or pay for $569. So it starts at $569, $449 to $569 for the base models. That's not bad. Now, if we go here on eBay, like you can get the iPhone 8 Plus or the iPhone 10 for a good deal as well. So let's go on here as well. So here's the thing. See, you can get it for $700, $749. Okay. Pre-owned. Yeah, so yeah, about $600 usually, 6 average. This is $600 or $700. That's not bad. Now the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus. Let's look at those. I'm just making sure that our live stream's good. Okay. Yeah, $619. So it's the same price, really. Yeah. Okay. Pre-owned. So if you want to get an 8 or 8 Plus for sure, don't get it on eBay because it's the same price brand new at Apple. Yeah. Oh, wait, no, it's not. No, that's the 7. So, yeah, don't get the 7 on Apple. Get the 8 on eBay if you can. Just a suggestion. Unless you want to like finance it from a carrier, you're better off financing the 10s because it's the same price. But you gotta look at your options. But the 8 and 8 Plus are not a bad buy right now. If you wanted to sell like the Apple buyback program, or you wanted to sell your phone on eBay or whatever, they'd give you a good deal. Okay, so I don't know. I mean, the iPhone, the A12 Bionic is incredible. I'm not gonna say that it's like, it's major difference. It's the incremental S upgrade. I got this thing SIM free, so unlocked basically. What's going on here? Why isn't it flipping? Okay. Yeah, okay. So I got this thing unlocked SIM free for, you can get it for $11.49 with taxes, which is it's pricey, yes, but it's a great phone. Man, what else can we talk about? I want to see what else we can cover. Well, I guess now that we're here, I want to talk to you guys about another thing. The iPhone 10, just so you have an idea if you want to buy the 10 or whatever, the 10 right now, like the nice thing about iPhones is when you get the iPhone secondhand, they don't slow down, unlike with the Android operating system. They don't slow down as much anymore, but there is more wear and tear. And Apple devices tend to maintain their newness, which is cool. They go from one person to another, and they usually go through 5 or 6 hands before they get thrown away, which is incredible. So Alright, I'm going to end the live stream. I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. Thank you for watching. This has been the most successful live stream on Blind Power, and I hope it stays this way. See you in the next video. Goodbye.